Seeing things and situations with God's eyes. As imperfect humans, we are limited to analyze matters unspeculatively. For instance, we can be at the workplace, in congregation, and other environments, and so on, under the influence of others whom we might consider superior or men with influence, that we simply admire based on attractive chemistry, egocentrism, or any possible apprehension of lengthy self-interest. This kind of authority is injuriously hidden dignity, or undetected dominancy which enslaves our discernment, an authority that protects our emotional strength and mental faculty in order to decide and articulate matters and situations perceptively. For instance, at the place of work, our boss might speak speculations with degrading influence against someone who in reality, he or she, as an individual, is above your boss in many aspects of maturity, dignity, as well as other levels of perceptive intelligence of various fields. However, because of jealousy or any other dominancy and influence, of course, which is negative, your boss tries in an indirective way to ruin the reputation of that one by bringing out of his or her inner emotional dependency whatever is driving such like spirit against the other individual who is superior in dignity. Now, here comes the standing of your individual analyzation of either partial or with the spirit of impartiality. If you are shaky and not discerning because of lack of perception, maturity, and experience in life, as well as including the fear of the invasive spirit of silence worship growing within your person toward your boss. Of course, most of the time based on self-interest, such like invasive influence will dominate you to the point of keeping the side of your superior, who in reality, he or she could simply be a narcissist, psychopath, stupid, and possibly ambitious to have his own way in full and so on. Yes, you simply are a victim of your fear and the overall darkness invading your perception by holding you away from the real truth. On the other hand, when we see things and matters with God's eyes, we are not that easily persuaded from anything immoral or driven by human corrupted influence. That is why there is no one else who can analyze matters so perfectly well as God does. Henceforth, we must develop a personal relationship with the true God and not humans. With God, we can express our inner thoughts in a way we can't do so with any human, including our own mate. Additionally, as God is the perfect judge of any and every situation, He will continue to be the only one whom we can trust completely. On the other hand, humans will always try to persuade us for attention and support relating to their wicked intentions, imaginations, fantasies, and all kinds of ambiguously ambitious, driven dependencies within which they have victimized their own disposition. That is why they live in the world of darkness, which stand far away or in great distance from common moral sense and spiritual or biblical light, something for such like ones to conceptualize even as a thought. That is why, for us to build our self-worth and dignity, we must be strong and never take sides to please men and their ambitious agendas. We ought not even to live for our own self as priority. Only the true God and His Christ have to be our priority in life, no matter how long or short our life might be in this temporary human society. We must continue to exist in Jehovah's memory, the same as Abraham, David, and many other faithful men still continue to be until today. Henceforth, let us not to be persuaded or fooled from the deceptive to and fro human influence by supporting some and throwing aside some other ones. Let us be godlike with our spiritual perception, moral discernment, and mental faculty. Finally, let us see people and situations impartially and with the power of reason and thinking ability.